Hey, how you doing? Justin here. In this lesson today we are checking out Eric Clapton's first solo from his song Crossroads with the Cream Band. Awesome song all round, and some great solos later on as well. But these first two choruses of solo that he plays have got some really interesting stuff. A lot of mixing up between the major and the minor pentatonic scale. Loads and loads of great licks. So what we're going to do, go to a close-up. I'm going to play it once through, just kind of at a slow tempo, so only you fast learners can just kind of watch where I'm putting my fingers and off you go. But then I'm going to try and break it down lick by lick and explain kind of a little bit about what he's doing, where he might have got the idea from, so you can kind of chop it up yourself and steal the individual licks and improvise with them yourself. That's the plan. So let's get to a close-up. Lick number one. And lick number two. Now both these licks are quite similar. This is an A major pentatonic scale. Very common to use this second to fourth fret, second to fourth fret on the fourth string and the third string. So really the big difference here, the first time it's a bend. And the second time he slides up from the fourth fret to the sixth fret. Lick number three is staying with the major pentatonic. So it's really here, 5 to 7. You might let those two ring together a bit actually. 2 5s, playing both 5s and hammering down the third finger in the 7th fret. 5, 7. Now here we've got that little kind of minor to major thing, 5th fret to 6th fret, while holding down the 5th fret on the 2nd string too. And lick number 4. Straight up the minor pentatonic scale. So now we've changed straight away from the major pentatonic to the minor. It's an important bit to get that. So these first few licks together. of that is of course played over the A chord. Now the band's moved to D and he plays this. Really like that lick. This is a great one. So nice bending, 7th fret, up to the root note, 8th fret 2nd string, bend, and then leaping off to the 5th fret to 7th fret, hammer on. Love that lick, great. This is an interesting one as well. So we've got this little hammer on and flick off to the A. It's a little bit muted on the record, you get it. Now, I always thought it was he's bending and playing the E on the 2nd string, but when I was doing this transcription, I could hear that the E note and the G note, which is the next one, are ringing together, and you can only get that here. So I sussed out that it was... It makes it a little trickier, but it's a lot nicer, and you get that nice kind of... where you bend and then slide up to the same note. So you've got... That's the whole lick. Really like that one. Then we've got... Now I suspect, to be honest, this was actually just meant to be in a straight jump, which is pretty common in a lot of the guys that influenced Eric Clapton. But he gets a little... where he's gone from the 9th fret to the 10th fret. I suspect he's just kind of missed it a bit. There's a little step up there. Then we've got a little 8, 10, and back to 10. Then we're going to get back down. We got here a little 8 to 10 hammer on with an 8th fret on the thinner string. And then a nice little rundown. Again, I always used to play that slightly wrong, but... bit awkward here because we've got this little 5/6 hammer on, 2 notes on the note E, the 5th fret of the 2nd string, and we've definitely got a pretty strong curl. It's not a proper bend, it's just a curl with the first finger to the root, and then same finger has to jump off the A and slide down to the D, the 5th fret of the 5th string, and he's playing the root note twice. And we're finishing that off with a very classic little Clapton lick. It's a real proper Clapton ending. Mostly minor pentatonic, of course, but we're adding in the little bit of major there, forming just an A triad, you know? Okay, let's have a look at that whole first section, the whole first 12 bars. Here we go. Okay, and then after that, he kind of jumps up the neck a little bit. So he's got quite a leap on, and he's jumping up to, I think it's here, right? So the 13th fret of the second string to the 14th fret of the third string. He could be going, or, so I'm not 100% convinced it's up here. Just to me, it's set, my gut instinct says it's this part of the neck. So 13th fret with a curl, 14th fret, then so 13th fret curl, 15, 12, curl, 14th fret twice, then to the 13th fret. So very nice little lick again. Nice. Using the A minor pentatonic scale. That one. Now he gets into using this very, again, very Clapton-esque kind of. Now again, I'm not 100% sure what fingers he might use for that. I think he tends to use his first and second finger quite a lot for this riff from videos and stuff I've watched. And then because he's using first and second fingers, when the third comes down, to get that little slide back to the 5th fret, it's a real kind of a strong slide. So sliding up to the 9th fret from the 7th fret, 8, 9, 8, 9, and then third finger is going to overtake it and slide down to the 7th fret, 5th fret, then we've got the same, but with a hammer on to from 8 to 10, then 8th fret with a curl. Then we're right up the dusty end again. So we're holding the 12th fret and bending the 15th. Sometimes I'm convinced that it's just a single bend. Other times I swear I can hear the two notes together. So you have a listen and decide which one. I think it's the two notes together, I think on. More of that minor pentatonic. Then really nice slow release from the 15th fret. And then we've got our little Clapton-esque little run with the first and second fingers again. But with a slightly different ending this time. Also, I think this time he goes, I'm just kind of separating the notes. So I think he's going 7, slide 9, 8, 9, 8, 8. I think. And here, nice little slide up there to follow the chord changes. And we got another nice bit. Little short slide up to the 11th fret, 10. Then 11th fret again. This is now for kind of a D, chords move to D, so it's playing off of this D7 arpeggio. And then we're back to the root. Now this one here, we're back to A major pentatonic. This note here is B bending to C sharp, which is incidentally the same as that one at the beginning, is the B note bending to a C sharp being the major third. That's of course saying, hey, we're back on the A. So just to clarify this a little bit more, the lick before, this is a D lick, right? D7 arpeggio. And we're using those notes from the D triad. Then to say, hey, we're back in A, he's going, bending the B to the C sharp, which is saying, hey, we're back on our A chord here at this point. So it's important to see that's kind of how those licks are working. You know, he's following the chord changes. Now after that, he's got a little run down there with his finger, and he finishes with a little, starting with the open D, hammering second finger on, open G, hammer on and flick off at the second fret, second fret, flick off on the D string, third finger, third fret, and we're back into the riff. Okay, that whole second part of the solo. I really hope you've enjoyed checking out Crossroads, and I hope I didn't go too fast. I'm a little bit worried that I kind of skipped over bits too much, but I think if I go through every single note and every finger and every fret that it should be on, it's going to make it a really long and tedious lesson for both of us. So I'm hoping that that was kind of a good tempo for you. Please let me know in the comments and I'll try and fix it for future videos. It's a really important thing to understand what was going on as well. So if there are bits where I didn't explain whether it was a major pentatonic or a minor pentatonic, have a think about it. See if you can look at the notes that I'm playing and go, okay, does that fit with the major pentatonic shape, or does it fit with the minor pentatonic shape? Okay, what chord is that being played over? Because I didn't get into doing that too much. I think that's a really important thing for you to do. It would be difficult for me to do it as well, actually, verbally. By far the easiest thing is to kind of write it out and then put your bar lines in. If you can put rhythms in, that's a great, great skill. Can't emphasize what a useful skill it is to be able to read and write rhythms. If you struggle with that, I've got a book on that. Understanding Rhythmic Notation, hint, hint, you can go and buy that from the website. But that'll definitely help you when you're kind of writing a transcription of something, you know, to write down the tab and then to be able to write the rhythms above it, help you sort out where your bar lines are so you know where the chord changes are. It'll help you slow it down as well. So that's a really good little tip for you, is making sure that you write the rhythms down. I do it with all my tabs. When I'm tabbing out a tune or transcribing it, I write down the tab first and then I make sure I write the rhythm as well, because that means that I can learn a lot quicker, you know. So, and I'm sure that'd be helpful for you guys too. Yeah, do a little bit of your harmonic analysis and make sure that you know where the notes are from, whether they're major pentatonic or minor pentatonic or something completely different, which they're not in this tune mostly. Make sure you listen to it a lot. Make sure you get yourself a half-speed kind of player. That's a really, really, really important thing when you're learning lead guitar stuff, is to be able to play along with the original solo at like 50% or 70% or whatever you can handle, because it kind of helps you get the feel right, because you're playing along with them, and you know, I think that's an important kind of thing. And lastly, the other really important thing, of course, is to make sure you learn them as licks. So learning the whole solo is great and a really good thing to do, but probably the most valuable thing you can do is break it down into little licks, and then you can actually use them in your own improvisations. And I think that's kind of the point of learning other people's solos. For me, at least, you know, I've taken that solo, learned it, stolen all of the licks that I really, really like, and I try and use them in my own playing. And I'd recommend you do the same thing, because that's what it's all about. Have fun with that, and I'll see you for another lick, solo, song, thing, lesson stuff sometime very soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.